I am alive, and it's good to be alive. Hello, everyone. Today, we're checking out a sweet weapon called the Silva aegis. Now, this is not a new weapon by any means, but we've had some new mods recently introduced to the game that make elemental weapons much more fun to use. So I've been having a ton of fun with this one. I've revisited it, so I want to revisit it with you guys. So, the Silva aegis is really fun now because on top of having great elemental mods, we also got a new stance for it a couple updates back called Final Harbinger. This is a sword and shield stance, and it is really fun to use. I'll show you guys later in the mission. It's got awesome combos. It looks very unique and complex and very interesting. There's nothing boring about it. I just love using the attacks. On top of that, I have Drifting Contact here, which is really nice. This one increases your combo duration and your status chance. I will probably replace that with something else once I put more formas on this. I'm kind of out right now, sorry about that, but I do think you guys should build this for corrosive damage, hands down. So corrosive damage is electricity and poison, and that basically melts enemies' armor. So like when enemies have yellow health bars and stuff, and they have thick armor that's really hard to punch through, this will help disintegrate a lot of that and make them much easier to kill. As well as Healing Return. Healing Return is going to heal you for hitting enemies that are afflicted with status effects, such as if they're being electrocuted or if they're set on fire, things like that. And combine that with Condition Overload, you deal 60% extra melee damage for every status effect that's on the enemy. So if I inflict them with heat and corrosive, which this weapon does, that's an extra 120% melee damage that I am doing. So I only deal 147 heat and 110 corrosive. It's not a lot of damage. That's where the Condition Overload kind of helps that. But it has a really high status chance, and because it's a sword and shield weapon, it has a special function where if you're blocking, it actually negates more damage than most other melee weapons. So it's still pretty cool, and I want to show you guys what it's capable of. Alright, so here we are. Another cool function of this weapon is I love how it looks when you have it stowed. You basically get a nice, awesome shield on your arm. And on top of that, when you do a slam attack, you get a nice wave of fire coming out from it. So it's not your typical area of effect visual when you slam a weapon. You get like some nice waves of fire coming out from it. Now naturally, I am fighting Grineer because of the corrosive damage. It'll melt their armor. It makes Grineer super easy to kill. And the heat damage will also make it effective against infested. So this is really great against everything but the Corpus. But even then, I find more often than not, it gets the job done. So I'll show you the Final Harbinger stance this thing has now. After you die, you insolent fool! How dare you pull me? So as you can see here, you do lots of spins, and it's just a really cool stance. I love it. So I'll hold the block button while meleeing now. And as you can see, you do some nice breakdance moves. Pretty cool. So, and the charge attack, you actually throw your shield. It's just really fun. I love the stance. It makes it more interesting to use for me personally, because sometimes even if something's a great weapon, I just can't stand how it attacks. Like dual commas, for example, I'm not saying they're shit weapons or anything, but I just can't stand how they look. I don't like the stances, the buttons I have to press to make melee combos. It's just not fun for me. And as you can see here, as long as I am facing the enemy, I negate more damage than with most melee weapons. So as you can see here, they're not really hurting me, barely at all. And now you all die. So this is a really fun weapon. I've been having a ton of fun with it lately. It's holster fire, so when you're not actually holding it, you're holding a gun or something. It's really nice. It's just a back and forth wide sweeping attack with the sword and then the shield, so you get a nice arc of attack range there. The fact that this weapon melts enemies' armor, making them easier to kill, and also heals you, just makes it really fun to use. I'm really liking what they're doing with the status weapons in this game. They're starting to give critical weapons a run for their money, although I think critical weapons will always be the king of damage. If you want this weapon, it's not terribly hard to get. You simply research it in your clan dojo in the Tenno research lab portion of your dojo. And the most expensive thing it's going to cost for you to build it is a forma. There's lots of different ways you guys can get forma. If you want to know more about that, let me know and I'll make a video on it. I'll probably end up doing that eventually anyways. But I hope this video was helpful. I hope you guys are having a kick-ass day, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace!